hopefully that's true.
Mm-hmm.
Says we're going live.
Okay.
Says they're going live.
All right.
Says we're here.
We're here.
I don't actually know. I really don't know. I need somebody else to tell me that they perceive me, and then I know that I exist.
I'm getting an ad.
Oh, good. Yay. Yeah, YouTube couldn't decide if this was going to be demonetized or not before we even started, so whatever. May the odds forever be in our favor. It's fine.
Right.
It's fine. I've been informed that we exist, so we'll actually kind of be here. Hello.
Okay. Hi.
Kayla Lords.
John Brownstone.
Of Loving BDSM, where we help kinksters like you have happy, healthy power exchange relationships. This is our weekly live stream where we record our podcast, the audio version of which hits all major podcast apps every Friday. We are here 4 minutes early. If you're here for the stream and you don't like idle chit-chat, you got a few minutes. If you are here after the stream, but before I put in timestamps and you don't like idle chit-chat, fast forward by about 4 minutes. Yay, I was so hoping you wouldn't have to get up. I was gonna go take care of it for you, but it didn't work. I'm gonna say hi to folks.
Okay, say hi to everyone.
Hi, Little Miss. Hi, Mr. Spock. Hi, Ghosty. Hi, Tammy. Hi, Silent. Hi, Sin. Hi, Susan. And I agree, Silent. It is early. It is way too early for this. But also, what you gonna do? Kids, school's gonna close whether we care or not. My favorite was last night. You did half jokingly go, "Can't you just stay there a little bit longer?"
Right.
It's been a hot minute since we've done this. The shirts we're wearing, they exist. If they speak to you in any way, you can own them, and you want to know where the hell you can own them, you can own them from our Etsy shop. I made this. I didn't make the shirt. We have printing partners who actually put the thing on the shirt, but I decided all of my pants are sassy, so I put that on a shirt. And I couldn't understand why I was so enamored with daddy, 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 daddy. And then I remembered how I get JB's attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Yeah, we have added a few things to the Etsy shop, link down below. More designs are coming. I literally just ran out of time last night. I ran out of steam, but I'm going to try to, on a semi-regular basis, just add more. So, and for anybody who's like, yeah, purple, but what about, yes, for the shirt I'm wearing, you can get it in pink if you want it, just saying. So, Silent, I have technically had whatever the equivalent of this much of my large iced coffee is. That's how much coffee I've had. It's not enough. I don't know where my current energy is coming from. I really don't know. I don't know. I think part of it is JB's here with me, and I was a little concerned that he was so sick that he literally would not get off the couch this morning. 2, I bought from e.l.f. new mascara that does not clump, and something about that makes me so happy. I took the mascara wand out of the tube and went, there's hardly any mascara on this thing. And I was getting a little annoyed. And then I actually put it on my eyelashes and I went, oh gosh, it's not getting in my eyes, clumping, or making me look like I have one giant lash. Okay. And it's the small things, y'all. And apparently mascara that does not make me want to scream is one of them. Susan asked, what's our Etsy store name? It's Loving BDSM. Look, anywhere you're going to find us on the internet is Loving BDSM. But it did put the link in the description box. So there's that. So. Hi, Junie. Is it Mary or Marie? Either way, hello. Hi, Rara. Sin, it is the little things. It really is. Like, I have a pain in the back of my neck right now. My right hand won't stop tingling if I, use it. And I'm sweating under these lights. But my mascara was right on. Life is not awful at all. At all. You know, Mr. Spock, you can find us as Loving BDSM, but it won't be our handle. Yeah. I'm still pissy about that. Yeah, no. What else? Oh, it's exactly 11. So, did you have anything? I just steamrolled.
You're fine. You're fine.
Oh my gosh.
Let me let Miss Thing in before we.
Yes, we'll take a beat and let Lola in and watch her traipse over all these cords. She almost took a light down earlier. Hi, Lola. Are you coming to behind me, you won't climb up, though. You're not going to give everybody a Lola sighting, are you? That's okay. Ooh, hold on a second. I have to cough.
Okay.
Ah, Mari. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. I love a good pronunciation guide. Okay, before you... Where are you going?
Nowhere.
Okay. Well. As you can tell from the title, we're doing another BDSM Reddit response episode. There are reasons. I'll share them in a minute. If you enjoy this while we're doing it, we love a thumbs up. If you like it enough to want to come back for more, please consider subscribing.
And once you subscribe, go ahead and ring that notification bell so you get updates and new content.
Just do what daddy says. Life is easier when you do. And yes, I want to say, if anybody is in any way like enjoying our shirts, they're available on our Etsy shop. I keep saying I made them. I did not. I designed them. And then I let people who know what the hell they're doing actually make them. Put the design on the shirt, mail the shirt. That's what we do here. Yes. And of course I got purple, and I did not realize it would match my hair until the shirt got here. It's fine. And if you are interested in anything we might do over on Etsy, the link is in the description box. Okay, you can hit the magic button and we'll get started. I am already out of breath, and we've only been going a few minutes. I think that the few sips of coffee I've had,
Kicking in hard,
hit
huh?
hard, and I haven't even finished. It's a large iced butter pecan from Dunkin', and I got 350 points for it because I'm stacking all of their offers at once because I know how to play the rewards on their coffee app game. Okay, so before we get into this week's episode, it's technically like on the day we're recording, halfway over. For podcast listeners, by the time you hear this, you got a day left, but we are at the Kinkery in our anniversary sale.
That's true.
The Kinkery is 3 years old. The toddler years have not been completely terrible.
But not.
But is this like dog years? So really we're 3, but really we're 21. I think that's probably best to say because it's kink. But either way, it's our 3rd anniversary through October 28th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern. If you use the coupon code 3 years, S at the end, 3 years, you'll save 10% off nearly everything in the shop. The only thing that the coupon doesn't apply to is if you buy gift cards. Yes, we do gift cards, so you know. So we've been restocking.
Yeah.
If there might be a couple things sold out, but most things, there's plenty of them. This is a great time to get a discount because we don't do a lot of sales. We don't do a lot of discounts. We restocked evil sticks.
Yes.
We restocked diabolical sticks. We restocked thick sticks. We got a lot of sticks. And they all hurt like hell. We introduced
Isn't that the point?
Apparently. We introduced two new candle colors.
Yeah.
Pink and blue. Soy and paraffin. Kinkery.com is our website, but the link is in the places. The code is 3 years. You can either use the number 3 or spell out the word 3. It will still work. I did that on purpose because I know it's easy sometimes to remember the code, but then go, wait, is it the number? Is it spelled out? Doesn't matter. 3 years, use the code, save 10% through what is actually our wedding anniversary, October 28th, 11:59 p.m. Eastern. Do we know how many years we've been married? No, we can't remember. I have to go back to the pictures and go, what year were those taken? Then do the math, and then I can tell you how many years we've been married. Is it 5 years? Is it 6 years? I don't know. But I do know I'm married to you.
Yeah. And even that was...
I mean, it took us a hot minute to get there. Hey, it was a good wedding, though.
It was.
We did it on the cheap.
Yeah.
We had only a handful of people there.
Mm-hmm.
I got drunk and danced.
Yeah.
We had to do no cleanup, no setup.
Nope.
My dress was cute as shit.
It was.
And every picture that anybody took of me, I am cheesing so hard. So hard. There's that whole walking down the aisle like you're sedate and you're slow and you're like, no, the kids walked me down the aisle. I dragged them because I was like, let me get up there. Let's do this thing. But do I remember what year it was? No, I don't. And that feels like the story of our life.
And remember, we ended up at Waffle House afterwards.
Yes, but we did not have fuckery or fuck on our wedding night. We had one night kid free.
Yeah.
We went to Waffle House. That's what we did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Fitting. Quite fitting. Quite fitting. But my dress was cute. And it was purple, if anybody ever wondered. Because of course it was. Okay. I mentioned this for the YouTube folk, but I'm going to mention it for podcast listeners as well. We have added new items to our Etsy shop with more items, hopefully coming on a semi-regular basis. I want it to be like every week there's a few new things. But I know me, it might be once a month. I load them all at one time. I know how I am. I know who I am. Our Etsy shop is lovingbdsm.etsy.com. If you just search Loving BDSM at Etsy, we will come up. And of course, our links are in all of the places because they just are. I'm good like that. So yeah, okay. I need to take like a whoosah kind of breath.
You're just like...
I am. It's one of those days I'm talking super fast, and I feel like only other people who also talk super fast will be able to follow a word I say. And if you normally listen to this on like 1.5 to 2.5, whatever speed, you might need to slow it down.
And I'm just sitting here all sedate and...
Yeah, I know, because you're very much under the weather. I've asked you no less than like half a dozen times. Are you sure you want to record? Are you sure you want to stream? That is the reason we're doing another Reddit response episode, even though the last one was, and I looked at the calendar a literal month ago, September 27th. It is October 25th. I usually try to space these out more, but we needed an easy episode because you're trying to be here, and I'm trying to make it easy on you.
You are. And I'm grateful for that.
The blue of your t-shirt brings out the blue in your eyes, but also it lets me see just how glassy they are. So, this is a shortened version. Normally, we respond to 5 to 6 posts found on the BDSM side of Reddit. We're only going to do 3. And when I was pulling these together, I realized after the fact that there was a theme. And the theme is, what did I write down? Questionable decisions. Like some of these questions, maybe all of them, depending on your perspective. The first response, I think, is, what the fuck? Before you can even think of an answer or a response to it. So, if I don't get the tone of my voice calmed down, this will be done in 10 minutes. So,
yowza.
I know. I'm like, oh my gosh. Okay.
Do I need to take your coffee away from you?
No. This is the elixir of the fucking gods. And no. It's actually my first butter pecan in like 6 months. Like 2 or 3 months since they put out the pumpkin. But I rolled up to the good Dunkin'. And they were like, oh, we're so sorry, we're out of pumpkin. And I went, do you have butter pecan? And he was like, oh yeah, we do. And then he wanted to make idle chit chat with me, and I was like, I don't know.
Just give me my damn coffee.
Right, one, I mean, I had a bowl of upchuck in the back seat because the kid still does that. So I was like, I just want to go home and empty this bowl. But also, I haven't had coffee yet, and also, I don't know how to do idle chit chat. It is so unbearably uncomfortable. I just don't even know how to do it. So, yeah, there's not been enough coffee to kick in. I'm a little afraid of what's going to happen when I finish this coffee. So, now that I have annoyed the people who hate idle chit-chat, we can get into this
Lola's
episode.
curled up in a little corner over here again.
She wants to be near you. Okay. No, that's not the first one I want to start with. Let's start with this one. Question for service subs. Okay. Honest question. Would you consider participating in group play or ensuring that your dom's needs/desires that you can't, like physiological issues or won't, hard limits, fulfill, are met by someone else as a form of service? How would you feel about that? Emphasis on feel, as I'm 45 male dom, not nearly as rooted in feelings as my sub, 41 female sub, and both of us are still exploring and discovering ourselves. Grateful for all responses, pro or con. So, if I take out all of the addendums in that, the question is, you as a sub can't or won't do certain things
Mm-hmm.
that the Dom wants. The Dom wants to go do them with other people.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be considered service?
It could be.
It could be. The thing
Yeah.
is there's nothing in this that's like, you know, if you're willing to be in an open relationship, if that's your vibe, if non-monogamy is okay with you. Like, there's no mention of the consent to open up the relationship. Just a, hey, you can't or won't do these things, but I want them, so I'm going to go get them from somebody else. That's service, right? I mean, again, like you said,
Yeah.
it can be.
Yeah.
It can be, but
I mean, we have talked about that before, you know, in the past. If, you know, all your needs aren't being met, you can talk about, you know, opening up the relationship for play in other areas.
right, but that's part of an understanding and a conversation.
True,
that
true.
in some way, whether it's sexual or not,
Mm-hmm.
emotional or not,
Right.
mental or not, power exchange or not, you are opening up your relationship. You are not requiring monogamy, and both partners are okay with that. And the part that makes me give this person side eye is that the act of just letting your partner have other partners and being okay with it as an act of service, to me implies, oh, you might not like this, but if you let me do it and you say you're okay, you're serving my needs. Regardless of how you actually feel about it. Now, is that an uncharitable reading of this question? Yes, it fucking is. Could the person have not meant that? Maybe. But that's not what the fuck they said. There's no little line in there of, we've talked about non-monogamy. This would be a consensual, non-monogamous thing.
Well, let's take a back step here.
Okay.
Is it a matter of when you talk about non-monogamy or being poly, that is then assuming you are getting into an emotional relationship
Right.
with another person, and in many cases it could be sexual. Sometimes it's not.
Right.
Here we are talking about play.
But here's the thing. Some people, in their power exchange, that's monogamous. You don't go out to those people. I'm not one of them. You and I are like, I'm like, you want to go whip that person? Please do. Don't touch me with it. I'm fine. But we've had the conversation. We've had the conversation about what it means to us. We've had the conversation about how we feel about you playing with somebody or you being a dominant for somebody else, regardless of whether there's sex,
Yeah.
regardless of whether this is a long-term relationship. We've had the conversation, and at no point have you ever said, you're going to let me do this as an act of service. It has always been with me getting to say, okay, here's where I'm insecure. Here's how I feel about it. Here's what gives me pause. Here are all the questions I have. I had the opportunity to ask what it meant for our relationship. For us, it didn't mean anything, right? Because the way we are wired and how we run our power exchange, there's room for others. Now, this person did not specify. Are they looking for an impact play partner? Do they need a bottom? No, they specified that they are dom, their partner is sub. They're not really into their feelings much like their sub is. So like, my sub has feelings about this and I don't. That's a point where you have to have a conversation. Because you've been to play parties without me, actually the club, but whatever, with the understanding that you would probably play. And the first time we did that, where I stayed home and you went, I freaked the fuck out. All of my insecurities came up, which we were able to handle once you got home because we had had a conversation and an understanding, and it was just my insecurities coming to light. It was my thing that I needed to deal with, but it was never as a surprise. You never forced me to be okay with it and called it service.
No, that's true.
It was consensual.
But
And it wasn't sexual, and it wasn't even power exchange. You were going to play, and it still fucked with my head. Mm-hmm. And I had all the information.
Right.
And consented.
But could it, I'm not saying I'm forcing you to say this.
Right.
Okay, or anybody else. Could it be seen as an act of service?
It could be if the service sub goes, I'm uncomfortable, or I don't love it, or all of my insecurities are out, but this is something I want to do for you. Could be. Mm-hmm. But that is the total and 100% call of the sub. 100%. The Dom can make their argument. They can say, hey, does this help if you think of it as service? It's a mindset shift, right? Mm-hmm. There are a lot of things we've talked about in service submission where it doesn't always look like service, but when you reframe it in your head,
right,
you're like, oh yeah. It's like if a sub tops their Dom.
Right. It could be seen as an act of service.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But that is up to the service submissive to decide. 100% point blank. Nobody gets to decide that.
It has
for
to
them.
be negotiated, absolutely.
It has to be negotiated, which means that the most to me that the Dom can do is go, hey, what do you think about this? Would this work for you? What questions do you have for me? But at the end of the day, the service sub, any sub, should not feel pressured into it, should not be guilted into it. And this is a part where some Doms forget the power they fucking have. If you want something bad enough, there's a good damn chance I'll twist myself into fucking knots to give it to you. Even if I hate it, even if it bothers me, even if it makes me feel insecure, even if it makes me question everything about our relationship. A different me from a few years ago would have laid down and let you have it. So they're new to this, if I recall that question. Is that, I mean, I'm not going to speak for that sub. That sub might be like, be able to put their foot down and go, no, I won't do it. Here are my hard limits. This is one of them. Mm-hmm. They may be that person already. But my experience with a lot of newer submissives who are trying to fulfill a need that they've had, and they are finding it in service or just submission in general, is that sometimes we will do shit we don't really want to do, call it service, wonder why we're fucking miserable, and then say, oh, well, I'm serving, so my happiness doesn't matter. So it's okay for anybody to not think of the specific play of kink as non-monogamy, but there are absolutely plenty of people out there who do. That they're like, wait, you're going to play with somebody else? This is a different experience than what I think of as monogamy. I've just had too many conversations with people who are like, I feel, is my Dom putting me to the side because they want to play with somebody, but I don't do that kink. Well, I'm like, well, then you have to you got to think through that for yourself. For people who embrace it, no, it's another way for you to fulfill your needs. Go for it. I'm happy for you if you can do that, says Kayla to JB. But we didn't get there without a shit ton of trust, a lot of experience with one another, and a shit ton of conversation. Not, hey, we've been doing this for 5 minutes. Reddit, will you tell me, is this service? Should I tell my sub that they can call this service? That's, to me, the sub is 100% in the driver's seat on that one.
Okay.
Because if they can't wrap their mind around it, for them, it's not service. For them, it is painful. For them, it is, I don't want to share this part of you with anybody else. That might make them incompatible. That might mean that DS is not right for them. That might mean that kink is not right for them. That's a whole other ball of can of worms, ball of something. Oh, my metaphors just all jumbled like a ball of something, quite frankly. But that's not what's being asked here. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like, yes, you're right. That submissive could decide that service, and that's a service they're willing to provide. The thing, the bitch submissive would say to that little submissive, I'd say, okay, but is this because this is what you want, or because you feel pressured? You're worried that person won't want to do this with you anymore. Is that why you're doing it? Or it's because you embrace that and you're like, yeah, that's cool. I'm good with it. Just saying. Yeah.
And I just got called out by Silent.
I'm also sweating already.
Yes, you are.
So, this is fun. The live stream chat is clocking it. And thank you, everybody. Ball of wax. Ball of wax is where I was trying to get.
Okay.
Okay, so now that I have sort of metaphorically ripped your face off there, sorry, I love you so much. If I promise not to start ranting at you, is there anything else you would add to this?
I'm good at this point. I'm done. I'm over.
Sorry. Okay, next one.
Hey, I brought that on.
Did you know what you were doing? Or was it a happy accident? Okay, next one. I feel like whatever your personal, the person who can hear us, initial reaction is to just the title of this post. That'll probably say it all for you. Here we go.
Oh, goodness.
Is it a bad idea for my boyfriend/dom to carve his initials into my skin? I'm 23 female and my dom is also 23 male. We've been talking about it for a bit, and today I asked him if he actually would do it, and he said yes, so long as we can agree on something. I just want to know from an outside perspective if it's really that, quote, deranged or bad. He told me it's not as intense as I think it is, considering the other kinks we share. I was the first to consider it when we were talking about marking and whatnot, but I also see where it might not be necessary since I have a collar. Just some outside opinions would be cool, no matter your age and whether you're experienced or not. Okay. So, what are your thoughts about this? And I'm going to try and stay quiet and let you actually get them out.
Personally, I think it's a bad idea. Something like that is way too permanent. Okay. I'm going to say, they're young. A lot can happen.
A lot can
happen. Mm-hmm. There are much better ways to do that than to have initials carved in. I'm thinking temporarily you could do marker.
Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely start with marker before we move on to blade.
Start with marker. You see a lot of people do with the marker. The other thing that comes to my mind that is not as permanent but can be close is something like cell popping. Okay, where you take for anybody who doesn't know, you take a stainless steel rod, heat it, and you actually poke on the skin.
Right, but it's like the surface layer.
Surface layer.
Okay.
It causes a, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Okay, which eventually does heal up.
Sure.
But something as permanent as that, where you're going to have, this scar, that's as bad as saying, well, I'm going to have so and so's name tattooed on my knuckles or something.
My favorite are those tattoos people regret in the future. Things you see online, somebody's name tattooed on their face.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always cover it up or attempt to remove it, but I'm 100% with you on no, I don't think it's a good idea. I fully support consenting adults doing whatever the fuck they want with their body.
True.
I, would love to help navigate somebody away from a decision they will absolutely or 99.9% regret in the future. Mm-hmm. But it's hard for me to go, no, don't do it. Except as somebody's parent, I'm like, no, don't do it. As somebody who has trust issues, I know we're going to be together till, the absolute end, whether that's Armageddon or, whatever, go out like Thelma and Louise. And I still cannot imagine doing that.
Yeah.
I think that in the comments of that post, somebody said try henna. Because apparently if you take care of it well enough, it can last up to 3 weeks. Mm-hmm. A lot of people in the comments of that post were like, use a marker. Just use a marker.
Yeah, didn't even think about henna. Yeah, henna tattoos are fairly popular.
A little bit more mainstream on Western culture, at least civilization anyway. But, if it's the idea of being marked in a way that commemorates the relationship, if that just feels super important and there's like no point where you're like, oh, maybe cell popping, that would be great, or oh, let's do markers, let's do temporary tattoos, whatever. Then to me it would be like, okay, what is a symbol that is not somebody's name, that is not somebody's initials, that even if when the relationship ends in the future, you look back on it and it's a memory. Now, some people some people get tattoos for that, and then they regret them later. And some people don't regret them. They go, this is a sign, a symbol, a whatever of a point in my life, and it is what it is. And some people go, I would rather not be reminded of this point in my life. Let me remove it, cover it up, whatever.
Well, I mean, there is too. There are people who identify as slaves, and there apparently is at least there used to be a place you can go online and register.
Yes.
And
get like a barcode?
Like a barcode or a slave number.
Yeah.
And you could have something like that tattooed.
Yeah.
All right.
Personally, that always makes me go,
yeah.
No, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, it's not for everybody.
Right, and I think that's the thing. It's none of these decisions are for everybody.
Right.
Before you make a permanent change to your body that is either impossible or extremely difficult to change later.
Right.
A lot of thought has to go into it. But if somebody's like, I really love the idea of permanent marks, I really like the idea of branding, I really like the whatever, then I'm just like, okay, pick something that symbolizes, not, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, and I don't know what that might be for somebody. Somebody's initials, and I don't want to, can't think of the word because words are now coming harder. I respect the fact that two 23-year-olds in a relationship feel what they feel. And for some people, that can be a super long-lasting relationship. But the law of averages being what they are, and it being 20 years since I was 23, the old lady in me is like, you probably won't be with that person for maybe even another 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
Is that a daily reminder that you're going to want 10 or 15 years from now?
That's very true.
That's the conversation and the questions I would be asking.
Yeah.
And I think, you could do what you want with your body. You really, really can. But think it through. Think it through. But I also give a little bit of side eye when we tell people you're going to regret it later. They might. Yeah. But every single one of us lives with regrets, and hopefully we learn from some of them. And so it gets touchy for me, But if you asked me, like, as your mom or your older sister, I'm going to tell you, don't. Not the dude's initials. Yeah. Okay? Just not the initials.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, okay. Last one. I told y'all this was short, okay? He's glassy-eyed over there. And I'm already running out of words, so shit. Okay. Again, this is one we all kind of know the answer, but it went with the theme that I accidentally found. Dom assigned me a trainer.
Ooh.
Hi, y'all. So I've met a Dom, and he seems really great. We get along well, and we are exploring starting a dynamic together. He is away working now, but asked me if I would be okay with a trainer. So when he gets back, I'm fully ready. I did ask why he couldn't train me, and he just explained it as he is not a trainer, but wants a relationship with me. The trainers are not in relationships. Is this normal? I said yes, and so far it's going okay. He is more strict than my Dom, but is giving me tasks to learn more about being a sub. I'm fairly new. I was just looking to get some opinions. What? Podcast listeners, if you could see the look on JB's face. Are you having a oh sweet summer child kind of moment?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. You talk. Let me see what a child needs.
Okay.
And then put my phone on airplane.
We've had this kind of conversation a little bit in the past. There used to be this thing, especially it was real big on Tumblr back in the day, and they used to talk about how I will train your slave. I will train your sub. It sounds great in theory. But you know what? It kind of like kind of be like, when we got together, if I said, I'm going to have somebody train you. Okay, to me, that's a lazy dom.
Oh, God, yeah. Like, I don't want to teach you anything I want. I don't want to,
Right.
watch you grow or be part of this growth for
Yeah.
you or, have to deal with any uncomfortable feelings while you're learning something new. I will outsource submissive training
Yeah.
to somebody else.
Yeah, that's a lazy dom. The other thing is, why would I want somebody to train you? I want you trained the way I want you to be for what I want, not for how they think it should be.
Right. Right.
Okay. Yeah, no.
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 Now, I read one of the comments on this post from somebody who, at least on, maybe outside of Reddit, but certainly on Reddit is well known, at least in that form, Sir Dax, which the name sounded familiar, so I wonder if this person is, known outside of the Reddit space, because I was like, I feel like I know that name. And they said that this is actually a common scam. So the Dom goes, oh, I can't train you. I've got work. I've got things going on, blah, blah, blah. I say, I'm going to set you up with a trainer. And then the trainer is actually them, but they're asking for pictures and they're asking for this and they're doing these things. And then when the trainer, who is the original Dom, right, has whatever it is they wanted from this person, that person's just ghosted. Just everybody disappears.
Oh, wow.
And sub is left. And I was like, I have never heard of that.
No.
But before I read that comment, the reason I went, is because, it's sort of a reminder for those who might need it somehow that I know there are typically Doms, but sometimes I've come across subs who say this. They're like, I can train you. I can offer training. I can teach you tasks. Now, if you are teaching skills, there are some service things, boot blacking, right? That's a skill.
Yeah.
You got to learn from somebody who knows what the hell they're talking about, right? Just like tops have to learn skills of how to use a flogger, how to use a whip, how to, right?
Yeah.
That's one thing. And I don't have a problem with that because a Dom might want to experience something with their sub, but not have the skills to teach it. But that's not what we're talking about here.
No.
And the folks I see online who talk about training subs, especially when they just offer it unprompted, they slide into your DMs to tell you how they've trained all these subs. They've not trained any subs. They just haven't, okay? What they've done is mind-fucked some people who don't know what's going on, gotten their jollies off by whatever they can get these people to do for them, but it's not training because, like you said, the training between Dom and sub is what the Dom likes, wants, needs.
It's a personal thing.
And showing and helping the sub learn how to, give them what they need. While also, let's be real, the Dom fucking learning a few things about what the submissive needs.
Well, yeah.
Doms are, in the power exchange way, Doms aren't trained, but let's be real. We're training one another. It's more explicit when a Dom trains a submissive. Here, these are the things I want you to do for me. Here's how you need to do them. You did that with coffee. Literally, my coffee addiction and obsession did not start until not only met John Brownstone, but fucking moved in with him, okay? Because he taught me how to fucking make coffee. He was like, this is a thing you've agreed to do. You're basically, I'm the coffee submissive. But I gotta teach you how to fucking make it.
Yeah.
That was training. But every time we've had to have a hard conversation about something that has affected me, or I'm upset about something, and you've learned how to interact with me in a different way, and you've chosen to go, I will change how I interact, blah, 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 because this is what my baby girl needs. People get uncomfortable with this, but that's a form of fucking training. You learned something, and I taught it to you.
True.
So we are training, air quote that all over the fucking place, each other. So when you outsource that to whether this is the scam or this person really believes that they have just handed their submissive off to a trainer, you're training them how to respond to the person who's training. That's all they're learning. They're not learning how to respond to you. They're learning how to respond to that person.
Yeah.
And unless it is very specific skills that you do not possess but want to benefit from, and quite frankly, I would say if you're a dom who wants your sub to do something and you don't know how to do it, you need to fucking learn how to do it too.
I was just gonna say, you know, there was a time I didn't know which end of a flogger, you know, and I went and took workshops, learned how to hold a flogger, learned how to, you know, do this, learned how to do that. Excuse me. You know, that's why I say, you know, you hand that off to that's lazy.
Yeah.
That's lazy. You got to put in your work, put in your time.
I mean, there's that.
Yeah.
And then there's also the way that you grow closer to one another is in the learning process of each other. The learning how to be in a power exchange with each other. The learning how to do the things that the other partner wants, needs, whatever. Like that's kind of how you get you either figure out that it's not going to work or you learn to trust one another and you create intimacy between one another and you're vulnerable with each other.
Right.
Yeah. Outsourcing it, if it's even legit. Like I said, I saw that comment about this being a common scam and I was like,
what was the name again?
Sir Dax.
Dax.
And I really felt like that name, but I don't know if
it does ring a bell. It makes me wonder if it was the fellow we met a number of years ago who did the whips.
Maybe. I don't know. But they were the ones who commented, and then other people went, "Oh my gosh, it's such a pleasure to see you here!" Like they were like, "Oh,
yeah,
okay." But yeah, and I've come across a couple of people who say, with all sincerity, with all well-meaning, that they train submissives and slaves, and I just am like, for fucking what?
I know.
Now I could see where somebody mentored couples. Even then, I'd be like, "Is that necessary?" Not in my opinion, but I could see that if you're helping people learn how to communicate and have that, like, you get to that point. I mean, maybe
somebody made a very valid point, and it made me think of something too, because you take like for instance a guide dog or a seeing eye dog. All right, they don't just hand you these animals and say, they're trained, you just take, here's your dog, go about your day. No, you have to work and bond with these animals before they, so it's not even in that. So
no, there's somebody else does the training and then
there's no magic bullet that
your submissive shows up and does everything right.
And, yeah. No.
It was never gonna be that way. It's never been that way.
Right.
The only training that I'm not going to give total side eye to is when we're talking very specific skills.
Yeah.
But even then, I think that dominant needs to be in that fucking class too. Because there's also there's learning the skill, and then as the dominant, there's learning the skill enough to know, wait, this isn't up to my standard, or I have a standard and I want you to learn it to that standard. Or wait, you have a question about this, how can I help? Well, like all kinds of stuff. So yes, anybody can be trained on a specific skill, but the dom still shouldn't completely remove themselves from the learning of that skill. If they don't already possess a knowledge of that skill, they need to be sitting in fucking class too and learning it with their submissive. Because how do you oversee something if you literally don't understand what's happening?
Right.
That doesn't make any sense to me either.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Anything else you would add to that?
No.
I feel like I've run a race.
I think you have.
And my neck is really hurting today.
Uh-oh.
It's not good. I slept really funny though. So we're only doing those 3. I did not think I would rant my way through them. As the live chat pointed out, this was a perfect episode because you, for the most part, could just sit back and let me go.
Right.
And I kind of thought that. But yeah. I think that's it. Okay. We can do a bonus section for kind of as long as you feel like you can sort of hold out.
All right.
I kind of feel like what you want to go do is lay back down on the couch before it's time to go pick up a kid.
Probably.
Yeah. Is it safe to say that there might, not definitely, but there might not be a Monday episode? And it's okay to say there might not be a Monday episode.
Possibly not.
Yeah. I didn't think so. So, if there's nothing that shows up in your feed on Monday, it's planned. It's known. Don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I need to cough. And I've been doing that a lot lately. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. So
are we good?
sure. We'll call it that.
Okay.
Keep it kinky, y'all. And we'll see you next week. Daddy. Daddy, 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 daddy. What? I'm just reading your shirt. Can I talk to the crickets, please?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. Do I have anything to say?
Probably not.
Probably not. I mean, my mind, it's weird. It's not truly racing a mile a minute. Either that or it's going so fast it doesn't sound like noise anymore. You know, when something speeds up so much, like you literally can't even hear it anymore. Yeah. It's one of those. I don't know. Yeah. Kinkery's having a sale. We're adding products to our Etsy shop. Lola, is she still napping right next to you?
Yep.
Lola's being a good girl and napping and not taking down our whole light system here. The cats are good. The kids are, oh yeah, that's right. The kids are good. The 18-year-old not only has this motorcycle, what's it called, endorsement for his license,
Right.
is now the proud owner of a motorcycle. And his motorcycle insurance, which is not required in the state of Florida, but we have learned our lesson by literal fucking cars hitting people, is 4 times as much as it was when I purchased my motorcycle insurance for you.
Yeah.
And also, instead of waking up every day and going, oh gosh, my baby boy is off at a college campus, I hope everything is okay, I'm now like, oh my God, he's riding on 2 wheels as a baby bike rider. I hope he makes it to campus and home alive. This is my new daily anxiety.
You're welcome. It's all my fault.
You know what? Would it have slowed him down if you had not been willing to help him and give him good advice? It would have slowed him down. But that child lives on people telling him he can't do shit.
I know.
So if we had said, because somebody's going to go, why didn't you just tell him? Because we know him. Had we told him you can't, he would have done it dumber, more expensive, and more reckless, and tried to probably do it faster, and then just wouldn't have fucking told us until it was too late. And then he would have done that little Cheshire Cat grin of, look, I did the thing, petty, because you wouldn't help me. Oh God.
Right.
This way, he talks to us about it. He's probably talked to you more in the past 2 weeks than,
yes.
I mean, all the times he's talked to you in a year. Like, it's a lot. Y'all have bonded. You've helped him make good strategic decisions. He knows he can come to you when he needs help. But an 18-year-old is riding a motorcycle to school every day.
Yep. It's a little itty-bitty baby motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's not a speed demon type of motorcycle. Yeah.
No. I'm sure he's fine. It's everybody else on the road I don't trust.
I know. And it's a bright neon green.
It is. And he's wearing a white helmet. I would like to get him something reflective that he can like put on his backpack or something. Mostly I'd like to light him up like the 4th of fucking July so the completely oblivious drivers who barely see 3 inches in front of their fucking face, let alone
like a Christmas tree,
left to right, whatever. You can light up like the 4th of July too. It's a country song. Anyway, and the thing I keep saying, you know, because you come across as kind of nonchalant, like really fucking relaxed. And I'm like, wait, the child had his driver's license and was in an automobile with like surrounded by, you know, plastic and metal, and was in an accident within 3 months. That had used car prices and values not skyrocketed, would have totaled our little Corolla.
Yeah.
Okay. He ended up being fine, even though the front of the Corolla was not. He doesn't have the walls of plastic and metal. Okay. And you, who take every precaution, had a decade plus experience on the bike, still got hit. So like you can do everything right and still get fucking hit. It's fine. I don't know why I don't sleep well anymore. It's fine. It's fine. Now, again, I know my kid, so I can't bombard him with texts and calls going, "Are you okay? Are you okay?" Like, I have to be really fucking nonchalant about it, and I hate it. But I would like to maintain a relationship with my now technically an adult child. You parent the kid you've got. You parent the kid you've got. You parent the kid you've got. I mean, crazy me. I raised them, thinking I would let them be the people they actually are and not force them to be the people I want them to be. We're breaking generational curses here on trauma. But God, it's hard. Because I assure you, at age 18, if I had said to either of my parents that I was going to go get my motorcycle endorsement and buy a motorcycle, could you help me get insurance, blah, 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 I'm going to just do it. I mean, they probably would have snatched me up from fucking college. Like, it's fine. That's fine. Look, I couldn't fully, I think, understand until the kids got older about once you have kids, it's like your heart is now outside of your body. And I kind of understood the sentiment when they were little. I was like, oh yeah, I would kill and die for them. Oh, but like then you let them like go out into the world on their fucking own
and do things.
And you have to admit, hopefully, that you actually have no control. You can pretend you have control. You can try to grip control, and and that'll go well. But that's when I feel that statement. My heart is at University of fucking Florida, riding around on 2 damn wheels right now, and I don't like it. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. He's happy. Mm-hmm. He hasn't been caught in the rain yet, so
that's true. That is true.
It's fine.
That is true.
I'm fine. What else is going on? Our wedding anniversary is this Saturday. Mm-hmm. We're supposed to have a big night planned.
Yeah.
Which is why you're like just chugging NyQuil and DayQuil, I think. And you're like, sure, I need to sleep. I will sleep. Because I don't want to have to feel this way on Saturday.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know.
Exactly.
My birthday is next Monday.
That's true.
And somewhere along the line, probably by the time I hit my 30s, my birthday stopped kind of mattering like it does when you're much younger or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so on my desk are birthday cards I've received. One I know is a gift. Like I know because I saw where it was from. And I still haven't opened it. And I'm like, I'll wait for my birthday. Da-da-da. And I'm this has happened for the past few years. Periodically, I'm like, well, that's right. I have a birthday coming up. And then I go, wait, how old am I? That's right. Okay, I'm going to be 44. Whereas, not that long ago, the entire month of October was my birthday month.
That's true.
And we needed to
That's true. That's
we
true.
couldn't celebrate accordingly, but we needed to be aware accordingly. Yeah. I don't know if I'm just too old and tired for that shit, or or if I've matured. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been feeling a little under the weather. I think it's a bit of a sinus infection.
Which we could do telemed, and then you could get on the phone with a doctor, and they'd prescribe you like an actual antibiotic.
And I think once we're done here, that's
what you're going to do.
Yeah.
With our insurance, they do that for free, like they did with our old insurance.
Okay.
Did our screen just do the black blip? I think it did.
Yes, it did.
Yes, it did. God damn it.
I know.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know, and you're doing the thing that I often do when I get sick, which is to the extent that you physically can, we're still out there working in the shop. We're still... You're not working as many hours as you normally do.
Right.
Which, good. It would be nice if I could go just lay down and do nothing, but...
Yeah, that's not really an option.
Oh, no. So, Silence says, well, you can get prescriptions over the phone. We can do telemed through our insurance with a doctor, and they'll prescribe for us. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that's how we've handled all of your sinus infections for the last few years.
Pretty much, yeah. Well, it's nearly impossible to get in and see your doctor when you're sick.
Yeah. by the time you get in, you're like done. You're like, oh,
Yeah.
well, I was feeling like shit, but I'm good now.
Right.
Yeah. No. And going to urgent care or those minute clinics when you're sick already.
Yeah,
No. But yeah. And Judy says it's like a Zoom call, but the last couple you did, you just talked to them on the phone, right? Yeah. Didn't even have to get on video chat or anything. So, but that was our old insurance. I don't know how our new insurance, our current insurance will be.
Yeah.
So, yeah. No, but yeah, you tend to get sinus infections.
I am
at least once a year.
I am prone to them, yes.
And yeah, we've learned he's got to have an antibiotic. Let's just get this done.
Mm-hmm.
So, my mouth was racing earlier.
Mm-hmm.
But now that I don't have a specific like topic in front of me, everything is like winding down. And I'm like
in slow-mo, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, I'm sure there were things I was going to chit chat about. I don't know what those things are anymore. The brain is done. The brain is like, oh no, we were spinning real fast for him. It's like a top that spins real fast until it starts to wind down, and then it weeble wobbles back and forth. That's where I'm at right now.
You're at the weeble wobble stage. Weebles wobble, but they don't fall down.
And see, that's how I know I'm not a weeble wobble. I definitely fall down. Definitely. Yeah. So I guess that's probably it, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you got to get better. We have game night with Patreon on Friday. Yeah, and an early dinner out on Saturday.
Yeah.
And a play party Saturday night.
Yes. So yes, I do.
Yeah, and it's funny because I agreed to go. Well, let's go. But the introvert part of me is like, I mean, I don't want him to be sick. But also,
yeah.
You would be more upset if we couldn't go than I would be. So out of spite, you're going to get better.
Got that right, God damn it.
Okay, on that silly note, we're going to go. Just a reminder, if you don't see a Monday video or podcast, it's because JP's still sick, so. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.